Hello and welcome back for another episode of Patriotic Housewife. Well, Candace dropped another episode and had another video of the grieving widow in action. And let's just say it's giving maybe like a 3 on a 1 to 10 grieving scale for me. I don't know about you guys, but we're going to go over a snippet of the video and then kind of get into it and then discuss Candace's episode because this league Zoom meeting that was done just 5 days after Charlie passed away, it gives a little bit of grieving, and I think that that's why Candace showed it, but it's the verbiage and the words that really are giving. So let's just pull Miss Erika Kirk, the CEO, up herself and listen to the grief, y'all. Let's like this really quick. Here we are.
Had private conversations with him. I want you all to hold on to those. And I want you all to remember those so deeply. I want you to journal about them. I want you to be able to tell your kids about them. I want you to hold those in your heart as why you're still here with the Turning Point USA family, because that's what we want. And like I said to our small group after whatever day that was that I did the thing on TV, how many days are still around Good Friday. I told the team, I said, Turning Point USA will continue like my husband always wanted, and it'll be bigger than ever. And we're going to honor him by doing that. We're going to stay humble. We're going to work hard because that's what he would want. And we're going to just make it grow. And we're going to keep our eyes fixed on heaven.
The stay humble part gets me every time I re-listen to this. I'm just saying.
And, like even Stacey said, he's gonna find ways to speak to us. And he's going to speak to you in different ways. Every person's going to be different, but you'll get little moments where you're like, okay, Charlie, I see you. It might be here on campus. It might be in quiet moments of the night, but he's here and he's more alive than ever. And he is, he's going to guide us. And we just have to remain humble. But again, what I told the team was
more like Jesus is going to lead you and guide you, not Charlie.
I will fight like hell to make sure that all of you have a job here. I don't want anyone to think the job's in jeopardy, because your family, if you choose to leave, that's different. I never will, and I promise you, I will make sure that I never allow a point to where you have to leave because we cannot financially afford you.
So what just happened, Erika? Why did you fire 30 to 40 employees without reason and have the attorney do it and walk them out? Just asking.
And
yet another lie she's caught in.
That is a promise. I want our family to stay together the best it can. Obviously, circumstances, things there's unforeseen things that might pop up here and there that we can't foresee in the future. But for right now, the way things are, I would like to remain if they are status quo. And I think that's the best thing to do. And everything else we can worry about later. But I just want to let you know that you guys are all very loved. I'm very proud of you. And Charlie would be, I think Charlie's just, I'm trying not to say that he's obviously celebrating in heaven amongst many things, but he's so proud of all of you. And he's so proud of all of you for keeping this mission alive. And he knows that you can do it. That's why you're hired. And he knows that you will be able to carry the torch. And he knows that you're going to do a great job. And you're going to be able to, even though days are going to be tough, honestly, the nights are the hardest. Mornings are pretty raw too. But just what I've noticed these past several days is if I didn't have the Turning Point USA family with me, all of you, I would be a disaster. I would be in fetal position 24/7. But the fact that we have a continued mission to look forward to, and we have our family, it's everything. And some of you, this is your chosen family. And just rely and lean on each
Sorry, I'm pausing this again, but she does a lot of our Turning Point USA family. What about your actual family? What about your mother? What about your sister? What about your brothers? What about Charlie's parents? What about your sister in law? Where is the coming together is a actual family, like your actual family, your blood relatives? Like, where is that? I mean, we have not seen blood relatives basically the entire time. You saw her dad or mom at the what was it, the Medal of Freedom, and then Charlie's parents were there. They looked standoffish with her. I'm just curious, like everything is her TPUSA family, her TPUSA family. But what about your actual like real life family and your real life friends? They're nowhere to be found. It's like all embedded into TPUSA. It's weird.
Each other. That's huge. Leaning on each other is huge because all of you were together prior to this and we'll be together after this. And we everything, and I told Justin as it's gonna be something where everything before September 10th, any email you were working on, any project you were working on is it's not that it's irrelevant now. It's just things have changed, obviously.
It's just, it doesn't fit with the narrative that I want to spew. So you need to stop doing what you were originally doing because I'm going in a totally different direction than what my husband did and wanted to because it was never about him anyway. AKA, that's what that meant.
And the mission has gotten deeper and the mission will grow deeper. But like
I'm sure the mission got deeper, Erika. Great choice of words.
just want all of you to know, we will be wise stewards. We will be vigilant. We will be humble. And I just want you to know that, again, I'm with you. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. And we're going to make sure that we honor my husband so well that this whole world knows what his vision was and will be. And it's just, I feel so blessed and honored.
So I'm just gonna like that's all we're gonna watch. We're not gonna watch the other portion that Candace showed because she goes into like Usha Vance and the before the plane lands and you have your children and you're just like I have 15 more minutes to get through this flight. It's very bizarre. And she says like, oh, this was like this intimate, personal relationship with Usha, but yet you're talking about this like personal conversation. I don't know. I just everything about that just I don't know. It just she weirds me out, period. I just her existence is you know. Anyway, a lot of information was released in the episode as well. Aside from showing this Zoom footage that was leaked from, I'm sure, I think Candace said a Turning Point USA staff member, probably someone who was fired, like I said, who does not care anymore because they lost their job for no reason. So, a lot of the episode was talking about things that went on and around September 10th. Candace was talking about how Erika Kirk and Andrew Colvette worked together on PR responses. I believe it was like to the Fort Huachuca claims and obviously with the alibi stuff and so they've done their coordinating together to try to like get statements out so that they can smooth this over with the public, which it's already too late for that. And I don't think a lot of people were buying the narrative to begin with, so all this other stuff is just like not boding over well for people. We found out that Erika Kirk was at the Hamptons meeting allegedly for this intervention that they had for Charlie. The one where they staged this meeting to make him like get back in line and not keep discussing his changing views on, the little country that we talk about. I have also I've been told from, sources that Mikey McCoy was at the Hamptons meeting. They tried to like distance him from that. I know Stu Peters has talked about Mikey kind of like ended up dragging Charlie to that meeting. So that's interesting. That was on X. We'll be going over a lot of that from Stu Peters and his reporting. That's been excellent. For those that don't have X, he's just put a lot out there. And so I want to kind of go over some of that information. We also found out that Andrew Colvett fell into Erika Kirk's arms and was distraught when he had his own wife present. So that's weird. That day in Utah when they went to the hospital to see Charlie and deal with the aftermath of this tragedy. But, I guess for some people it really wasn't a tragedy, allegedly. That's weird. Very weird. My husband would not be collapsing into another woman's arms instead of mine. I don't know. I'm just like, what? It all gets just to be so bizarre to where this is like, is this even really happening? Because it's like that wild and totally outlandish at this point, right? Candace also went over how Erika had to say yes to being considered and voted in for the CEO position at Turning Point. So clearly she was ready and willing. She gave her consent to, hey, I'm okay with being put up to be the CEO and this being voted on. I'm okay with that. That's weird for so many reasons. I'm sure most people were thinking that when that came out. It's such a tragic loss for her and her children. I don't think most people would be concerned with jumping into a CEO, mom boss, lady boss position. But I guess, hey, nothing we've seen here with tpusa, Erika Kirk, or any of these characters is the typical scenario, from the Tyler Robinson story to the ballistics of the 30-06 to how someone or anyone close to Charlie has gone about life and grieving after his tragic passing. Like, not one person is acting correct. I think the one person that we might have thought was acting somewhat normal was Frank Turek or Blake Neff with the running or the panicking during the shot. But then after that, it was like all the behavior that has happened after that is like, okay, just kidding. No one's acting normal. Not one person. And turns out Erika never brought anyone, and this is really disturbing, from her actual family to Utah to the hospital. And I'm talking like not one immediate family member, not her mother, not her sister, not nobody, to go see her husband's body, to bring him back, to just not be by herself. I wonder who was watching the kids. We know supposedly her mom is sick. I don't really believe that. That may sound bad, but I just think like Erika Kirk is just like a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie on top of a lie. We've seen it. We've witnessed it with our own eyeballs, with interviews. She's just always contradicting herself. Like I said, the right to remain silent is not only a right, but it is a gift. And there's some people who just can't stop the gabbing. And tpusa is a very good example of that. Anywho, she brought Stacey Sheridan, which is really weird. I, a while ago, was like, something's weird with Stacey. So Kristen and I started digging into Stacey. And on the surface, it was like, okay, she's had something to do with nonprofits before. There's nothing shady to see. Obviously, a lawyer involved in law. So there wasn't really anything that we saw on the surface that was like majorly concerning. I did know that she was allegedly introduced to Charlie because of Tyler Boyer. And so that was weird. And like the speech that she did at the memorial, if you guys didn't watch, it was like, oh, well, I used to wonder like why we had to have our house fire and all these things happen to us. But like now I see that God did that so that like I could be here to help Erika when Charlie passed away. And that was weird to me. That was like a weird speech. I was like, what? Like I was just blown away at the memorial speech that she gave. I thought that was very odd. Everyone's speeches were kind of odd. Everyone was just not sad enough, in my opinion, for a random. Charlie was what, 31, 32 years old, randomly getting killed. It just, none of it matched. But I was like, in the beginning, I was like, okay, maybe it's shock. I don't know. Like, I wasn't willing to go ham on people and how they were grieving. But then it was like, okay, there's weird parts to this. There was weird things. So yeah, it's all odd. And like I said, I've never liked Stacey Sheridan. I've always thought like I said, I could look at someone's eyes and even just being around somebody or looking at someone's face and how they carry themselves, I just get the vibe of who they are. I don't know. I just have really good judgment of character before someone even opens their mouth, like just by looking at them. And she gave me the ick from day one. There's something about her, the way she carries herself, how she speaks. I don't trust it. I don't like it. And Stacy was the one recording Erica, waiting for Charlie to be put on Air Force Two. So remember her little widow act where she could like barely stand up and she's on the tarmac and she's just like so distraught. Apparently Stacy was the one recording all these videos for like social media or wherever the heck, obviously they were meant to draw in sympathy and attention. Why else would you be like, here, take your phone and be sure to, record all this, right? And like I said, Stacy being introduced by Tyler Boyer, that was weird. Erica also talks about, um, you know, going back to this video that we just watched, her talking about Charlie's more alive than ever and he's leading them from heaven. And all of this language is so manipulative. As a Christian in the Bible, we're told that in heaven we don't know worry or sorrow. Charlie's not leading anyone from heaven. That's disturbing to be, you know what I mean? Like it just, to me, if you know the word of God and you're in the word of God yourself, I think that wording is manipulative to use Charlie as a weapon to manipulate people's minds to doing what they want them to do. And you're also weaponizing faith. And that makes me sick and disturbed. I will say in this video, at least you can see her cry or look like somewhat like she's crying, has cried. Hard to tell with her. She's a very stoic person. She's just, she's a hard watch. I mean, I think a lot of people feel that way about her. She had a puffy face. So I don't know if she like did one of those, before she got on. And then like, who knows? Like I said, this is what we've seen is a ton of lying coming from that direction. So who knows what's real and what's not. But she has seemed to have somewhat normal human reaction, maybe. But the words out of the mouth don't match the process we should be at just 5 days after your husband was randomly killed in front of the whole world. So for me, it's just too smiley. It's too cheery. It's too just not grieving. I would not be able to even put myself on a video for anybody at that point. And it's weird. And you could be close with God and still grieve. The Bible talks about grieving, that God grieves with us. So like her being like, oh, well, I don't grieve because like I'm so strong in my faith. That's a load of crap. You still grieve, you still miss people. That doesn't matter. You still go through that process. We all do. It's a part of life. But anyways, it's all very concerning. It makes it very clear that tpusa obviously had more to do with Charlie being eliminated than I think we all would have liked to hope, obviously. At this point, I don't think you can listen and watch these videos and come to the conclusion that this is a loving wife and these are loving friends that are supportive and coworkers that are supportive and loving. And this is how they act after Charlie was killed. This is how they're moving after the fact. Yeah, there's like rumors that like the McCoys and the Farnsworths will do like anything for money, allegedly. Like it's like a known thing. Like they're just like, they'll do anything for the right price, basically. Which is honestly, I mean, you hear about that a lot. I think a lot of people, my dad used to say like a lot of people have a price. Majority of people have a price. But anyway, it's just all very dark and depressing. And I feel sad for Charlie. Apparently, if this is all truly real, which it looks like it's overwhelming and his life was not what he thought it was. And that is so sad. I think he started to realize that at the end, which is really sad. And the fact that Erica talks about that she doesn't want anyone to feel that their job is in jeopardy and that no one is going to, lose their job. And she promises them. And then months later decides to, out of being paranoid, to fire 30 to 40 people is wild. Again, another lie out of her mouth. Yeah. And, really it's about covering her butt and making herself feel better. I mean, there's no other reason that you fire people that you promised you wouldn't. And, you're crying over the fact that you're so worried that you don't want people to worry about their jobs. So, and it seems that she gets emotional for that portion more than she does about when she's talking about Charlie. Like when she's talking about Charlie, she becomes like smiley and like oh my gosh, I just love my husband. It was like such a great thing. And he's such a great person. And like, oh my gosh, I just like, it just makes me so excited. Like I'm so inspired. And it's not normal. She's more choked up over things that no one would even give a second thought to if this was their husband. But yeah, it's just all weird. Like I said, yeah, the firing the staff, obviously voiding NDAs. I'm sure more people are gonna, start to talk. We're gonna hear more stories. We're probably gonna see more footage at this point. Who knows? We're just gonna have to wait to see how this unfolds. But I just wanted to know, like, what did you guys think of the video that Candace shared? What did you guys think of the other leaked calls, the audios? Are you guys over the Charlie saga? Where are you at mentally? This has become so, dark and overwhelming. And I think it's hard to wrap your mind around at times. We all know that evil exists, but at this level, I think we all would have liked to think and believe that maybe we had some of this wrong. And as the time goes, I think that it's depressing that it's more sinister and we probably have this pretty much right. So I just want to see where you guys are at mentally, what you guys think. Are you guys feeling totally exhausted? Do you guys enjoy all the Charlie Kirk content? Are you enjoying, some of the different things that we talk about? Like I told you guys, I'm slowly putting things together to transition into other topics as well because there's just so many different things going on right now and there's so many things to talk about. So I think it's important that we continue to follow this, but we continue to talk about other things as time goes. But I just want to see where you guys all, where you guys are at, where we're all at this point. Anyways, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys, and I will continue to go and do overviews of this kind of stuff as time goes. I'm hoping that more, important information comes out. I hope we can get some answers of what actually happened to Charlie. I really hope that this Patsy actually, makes it to trial. I hope we can get him, obviously a mistrial if he's not the person who did this, which I don't believe he is. Maybe it played a role, but I don't believe that he actually had anything to do with killing Charlie. So I think we need to pray on that because an innocent life is on the line. And that's really concerning and scary. He's young. He looks helpless. He just looks lost and out of it when you see him in the courtroom. And everything surrounding this case is just very, very concerning. So anyways, I will see you guys all in the next one and let me know what you guys think. Have a good night.